Evening, ladies and gents. Lee here with another video just to preview tomorrow's game against Coventry. After what's been a very busy week on Wearside, Sunderland entertain Coventry City at the Stadium Light tomorrow for a 3 p.m. kickoff. A little bit on Coventry later on, but let's talk about the news that what everyone's been talking about all week, really. It was about this time last week, news broke on Twitter, socials, Sky Sports, anywhere, that Sunderland were in advanced talks to appoint Michael Beale as head coach, to the point where it was actually agreed to appoint Michael Beale as head coach. And if you saw my video last time out, you know I'm not his biggest fan. Still not. He's got a lot of convincing to do. But he's Sunderland's head coach. I will back him. Obviously, followed that up with a disappointing 1-0 defeat away to Bristol City. I thought Sunderland were very, very poor. Yeah, their keepers made 3 or 4 good saves, but again, it was just copy and paste of what had gone before. Then Monday came with the official appointment of Michael Beale. Obviously, he's trying to say all the right things, like he's delighted to be here. It's a big thing for him and his family. Christian Speak in turn saying that there was a big interest in the job, but ultimately they decided on wanting Michael Beale as their manager. But you got to take his word for it, really. I don't believe him. Michael Beale was out of work. If he was your man to go ahead, then he's the person that you're getting it done within a couple of days instead of waiting 2 weeks. In my opinion, he is not an upgrade on Tony Mowbray, and I know, hold my hands up, I was one of the people that said we needed a change in the dugout with Tony Mowbray. But if you said 2 weeks ago you're going to sack Tony Mowbray and he's replacing it's going to be Michael Beale, I would have said keep Tony Mowbray at the end of the season. It's not all doom and gloom. I mean, he has got some things going for him. He is a very highly rated, good coach who's worked his way from the bottom to the top, really, like youth academy at Chelsea and Liverpool. The first team coach at Rangers and Aston Villa under Steven Gerrard, and he's been manager of Queen's Park Rangers and Rangers. Last season, he also had a stint as assistant manager in Sao Paulo in his early coaching career, so he's got a different dynamic of different countries and stuff, and I think he knows a different language. As you see, he's highly thought of. Obviously, if you listen to Todd Cantwell's video, which you can find somewhere on Twitter, he's got good words to say about him. Steven Gerrard says he's a better coach than him, so why leave it? Emi Martinez has said it's the first time in 14 or 15 years in his playing career that the first team coach took all the training sessions, the important meetings. And Jermaine Defoe as well. Terran said the players were gutted when he left, when Steven Gerrard left. When Rangers, that is, not Aston Villa. He's very good tactically. He did have instant success at Queen's Park Rangers, had him top of the league, which led to him flirting with Wolves, which is the main problem is, and like literally come out and said that he wanted to be at Queen's Park Rangers, this, that and the other, and a week later left for Rangers, which shows he hasn't got no loyalty, which when you're managing a young group of players who are going to get interest in transfer windows, i.e. your Jack Clarks, your Dan Neils, your Dan Pollard, your Anthony Pattersons, if your manager doesn't show any loyalty, how are they supposed to? And how are you meant to preach to them to show loyalty if they don't? You can't be doing that as a manager. You understand the Rangers job is a very, very tough job to turn down. In hindsight, if you look at it from there, if he didn't have the Wolves thing that hovered over him a week before he took the Rangers job, it would have been understandable. Obviously, it would have been understandable from go to Queen's Park Rangers to Wolves. But the fact he flirted with Wolves for about a week, then came out and said what he said, then went to Rangers, it just looks wrong on my part. I understand what people have been saying as well, that he's a very good coach, which you can argue the case is true. However, a head coach still has to manage his players. He still picks the team. He's still got to tell players to drop. He's still got to leave players out the squad. And you look at it from the stories you hear, his management skills are very, very poor. He doesn't lack the desired management skills of what you want from a manager. Especially when you go from the comparison of Tony Mowbray to him. It's like, it doesn't sound like he ostracised Fashion Sakala, which isn't right with me. But I'm on the fence. Obviously, he's Sunderland's head coach. I will get behind him. I will support him. If he does well, fantastic. But it can go either 2 ways. He's either going to go splendidly well, where Sunderland will benefit from it, and they'll see all the benefits from it, or go spectacularly wrong. And you've got 90% of the fan base pointing the finger at Christian Speakman going, told you so. Which, obviously, that would mean Christian Speakman would be on his last legs. However, a friend of mine did say he would trust me with a manager's job because being Sunderland manager, you don't need much. You have no say on transfers. You've got to go out there and coach the players, which is probably what Michael Beale is good at. So we'll have to wait and see. On to Coventry. They are 15th in the Championship. They are on a very, very good run of form. They have won 3 of the last 6. Only losing once, which was an away defeat to Ipswich. They have had 2 back-to-back draws with Southampton and Leeds, which is 2 very, very good results. Despite losing, Victor Gyökeres and Gustavo Hamer in the summer, they have invested, I'd say, well, would you say, that Haji Wright, who they bought from, I think he bought from the MLS, I'm not entirely sure, has got 6 goals this season. Obviously, they have got Ellis Sims, who used to play for Sunderland. He hasn't really hit the ground running at Coventry. So don't be surprised you'll get the convenient Sunderland, ex-Sunderland player comes to Sunderland, scores past them goal tomorrow. Mark Robbins has been in charge since 2017. It's actually his second spell in charge. He did have a previous spell in charge between 2012 and 2013, where he left to take the Huddersfield job, which ultimately didn't work out, and he ended up finding his way bouncing about and ended up back at Coventry in 2017. He has took them from League 2 to the Championship, so he has done a really, really good job. He was linked with a Sunderland job when Jack Ross got sacked way back when under Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. Well, obviously, the less you say about them, the better. He's managed 340 games. He's won 133, drawn 97, and losing 110. The last Sunderland win against Coventry, I looked this up before I started the video, was a 2-0 win in 2007. We haven't beat Coventry since then. Yes, there was a gap where we didn't play each other, but literally from, I think it's 2018 was the first time we played in that gap. We played Coventry. We haven't beaten. Obviously, you got the infamous 5-4 defeat at the Stadium of Light, where literally everything anybody hit went in, and they scored more goals than what we did. You had last season, Jack Clark scored the opening goal, then Victor Gyökeres scored that worldie at the end, and we got bullied away from home 2-1 when Ahmad scored that worldie, but was in the dying embers of the game. I'm fairly confident though. I am fairly confident in the Sunderland win tomorrow. I've said in my previous ones I've been a bit cautious. In the Leeds one, I was wrong, where I said it would be 1-1, and we ended up getting the win, playing superbly, by the way. In the Bristol City one, I said it'd be a tough game, and it was. We just didn't get that decisive goal to go and win, to get a point out of the game. So I'm going to go a 3-1 win tomorrow. I'm not there, unfortunately. I've got a works Christmas due, so I've passed my ticket on to somebody else. But our boys will take it in the game when it gets put on YouTube. Hope you've liked the video. Please leave a like. Subscribe if you want. It's completely free. All the best. I'll see you on Sunday with the review. A nice quick review before Christmas. How are the lads?